New chapter, Tower of God, 203. What happened last time? What happened last time is this music needs to change first. What happened last time is this music needs to change. Kill. Next. Whatever. That's what needs to happen. What happened last time was we had so many great moments of dialogue between characters. You had Amizu and Yarang's conversation when Yarang like was pouring her heart out about how so much like she notices how much different she is from when she was climbing, and like how that like kind of tears her up. And we had that moment where like they both embraced each other for a good while as Yarang's flames kind of like dissipated, and when the flames dissipated, it felt like she had come to terms with what she needed to be, like in saying goodbye to a friend and embracing this seemingly godhood that has been bestowed upon them. You had the continued encounter between Mershaya and Arihan, in which Han proclaimed that all of his friends are walking away from him, and he just wanted to say bye to Amizu. He didn't want anything else but just to be able to say bye. And then that led to Mershaya running through Trom's castle, floating ship I should say, and getting clapped up. He got off screened, and Enkidu has now taken Mershaya's place, copied him. Didn't replace him, right? Didn't like take over his body and replace him. Trom wouldn't let him do that. So he just kind of copied him and then went to Amizu and is now impersonating Mershaya and escaping with Amizu. All while Enkidu is like upset. Like he's getting more upset at her. Like he makes a note how she's so much different now, like in her interactions, thinking she was talking to Mershaya. Like she seemed so different than what he's seen of her before, and it's kind of like pissing him off. So that's where we are, where they were leaving Trom's floating ship. So I don't know what we're gonna be in store for this chapter, but I'm ready for it. So that's all I got. Let's hop in 203. But yeah, a warning. I don't remember anything crazy happening. All right, I'm sorry. All right, here we go. Flying away. They're flying away. Amizu, where are you going? Drama race pass 5. Okay. Did you really station a warp fleet there? Yeah, just trust me. That was the only place around here where I could hide it. I parked the warp ship on that floating island. Ah, I see. Over there. That's the island. That's the island what? That's the island. Or is she saying, oh, over there, that's the island? Damn it. Okay. Hop off this. He's so this way? Ooh, red lights. We've seen red lanterns in the hall, though. I remember this floating island. This is where I first settled down and began living with Traumaray. Really? Oh, Trom pulled up? Oh, he pulled up. Or, yeah, he pulled up, right? Traumaray. Trom, what happened when you got older? I need to know. What happened? You look so cool. I should have known. Oh, so okay. Okay. I'm putting it together. So you had me brought here? How could you think of leaving without even saying goodbye, Amizu? I knew something wasn't right on the way here. I see what's going on now. That's Enkidu. Okay. Okay, she was slowly putting it together, but when she saw the island, that's when she figured something's up. Okay. Why did you leave without telling me? Come on, let's go back together. Traumare. Let's go home. Traumare. Amizu, I understand your desire to leave home and venture out into the world, but we already finished climbing the tower that day. That wasn't my decision. I never agreed to that. Don't be silly. The gate is already closed. The gate is already closed? Is that metaphorically, or is this... Continue. No, it's not over yet. It's not metaphorically. I don't know. We're going to open the gate once more. Are you saying you wish to betray Jihad and us? No, that can't be. You remember what we suffered that day, don't you? The people who worshipped us like gods while we climbed the tower suddenly turned against us once they found out that we closed the gate. They bombarded us with curses and committed the most beastly atrocities. What in the world did we do to deserve that? You closed the gate. What do you mean, what did you do to deserve that? Cause and effect. You closed the gate, the people freaked out. That's what happened. Unless there's some other event that I don't know about, you closed the gate, they freaked out because you closed the gate. I don't know. Am I just not understanding? I feel like that's common sense. Let me scroll back up. Hold on. Are you saying... Okay, she was like, that wasn't my decision. I never agreed to that. Don't be silly. The gate is already closed, right? No, it's not over yet. We're going to open the gate once more. And then he says, are you saying you wish to betray Jihad in us? He's like, no, that can't be. You remember what we suffered that day, don't you? The people who worshipped us like gods while we climbed the tower suddenly turned against us once they found out that we closed the gate. They bombarded us with curses and committed the most beastly atrocities. What in the world did we do to deserve that? You closed the gate. Let me continue. If it weren't for us, those losers would have never climbed anywhere in the tower, let alone reaching the top. Are you really going to open the gate and begin climbing the tower again, like they want? Yes, Traumare. They wanted to keep climbing. That's why they freaked out when you stopped climbing. I feel like that's a simple cause and effect. This sounds like how he's answering this makes it sounds like someone that didn't make this decision who is just spitting out what he's been told. That's what it feels like. It's clear that Traum didn't make the decision to stop climbing, but an answer like this feels like someone who is drinking the Kool-Aid. That's right. I don't forgive them for what they did, but ultimately, I belong with them. We share the same goal. So whatever the Towerborn did in response to to Jihad and everyone saying we're done climbing, they did some crazy things that like she doesn't even agree with. Right? It's like whatever they did in it's essentially like if I'm in the middle of this chapter. So if I'm thinking about this, the best way that I can put this into perspective is whenever, and I feel like people that live in the States can ring true to this. I can't speak for other countries because I don't know about other countries. But it's like whenever there's some sort of like issue that happens, or there's some sort of like police brutality, or someone ends up dying at the hands of someone when they shouldn't have, and then there's civil unrest and people start rioting and stuff. And my mindset is always like, okay, yeah, I'm upset too that this happened, but I'm not upset enough to the point where I'm going to go into my own neighborhood and destroy my own neighborhood, and all I'm doing is just hurting me and my community and just burning it down for what? Like, that never made sense to me. So to me, what it feels like is like Jihad said, we're done climbing. The family heads relayed that information. The Towerborn freaked out, and they just started probably rebelling against them, lashing out, fighting each other, killing people. There's no telling what they probably could have done, to the point where it's like, this response to what you're saying is valid, but still insane. It's like, I get why you're mad, but are you mad? It feels like, are you mad to a fault? Like, you being this angry is doing nothing good from the situation. Like, yes, we probably, like, they probably, like, from like an outside perspective, no, they shouldn't have stopped climbing. But you doing what you're doing, it's like, I get you're mad, but this isn't the response that you probably should have. So it's like, so for Mizu to be like, no, like, what they did was crazy. But still, it's just like, but still, I'm on their side, but I'm not on their side. I share the same sentiments as them, but I don't reflect the actions that they did. That's what this feels like. I always get triggered by that as well. How can you talk to your people? How can you talk to your people that you're going to climb when you reach a level and you openly receive news that you need to stop? It's insane to think that people will willingly accept the fact without giving a good explanation about it. I feel like it's this right here. The people who worshipped us like gods while we climbed the tower suddenly turned against us. It's this thing of, we are these godlike beings. We are gods to these people. How dare they? It's like, how dare they go against us? It's like, what we do, they follow. What we say, they follow. What we say, they do. And now we said this and we're doing this and they're not following? Why? How dare you not follow? That's what it feels like. It feels like that. I don't give a drum, but I take it from that point of view. The Towerborn should be grateful for even making it that far, because if it weren't for the original 13 clearing the way, they would have never realized they lived in a tower to begin. Right. I that's a good point. I agree with that, where it's like, he has a point where it's just like, these people would have never made it this far without us. But then it's like, how it's like, we decided to stop. You never would have made this far. You probably can't make it this far without us. So why are you so upset? So, but it's just like, I see both sides of it. I do see both sides of. Both sides have, I guess it's hard to say, because I don't know the reason why the family had stopped climbing. So I don't know what that reason was. My fan theory is that maybe they wouldn't have made it any much further, so they decided to stop. I don't know. But the more I'm learning and the more I'm thinking about it, that doesn't ring true. Or to me, it feels like it doesn't ring true. So it's like, I get it. So whatever the reason is, I get the point of what he's saying is like, we made it this far because of us. And y'all wouldn't have done nothing. So why are you mad? I get that point. But then at the same time, it's just like, but we did climb. Right? So it's like, you can't pick and, it feels like one of those things where it's like, you can't pick and choose. Like, it feels like you're picking and choosing. It's like, no, it's like, yeah, you might be right. But at the end of the day, we still did what we did. We still climbed. We still shared this journey with us. And you're just stopping for what reason? I don't know. I have no idea. But let me continue. Let me scroll up. Let me continue. No, that can't be. You remember what we suffered that day, don't you? The people who worshipped us like gods while we climbed the tower suddenly turned against us once they found out we closed the gate. They bombarded us with curses and committed the most beastly atrocities. What in the world did we do to deserve that? If it weren't for us, those losers would have never climbed anywhere in the tower, let alone reaching the top. Are you really going to open the gate and begin climbing the tower again like they want? That's right. I don't forgive them for what they did, but ultimately I belong with them. We share the same goal. I hate to admit it, but it's true. That's why I first agreed to join you all. I couldn't bring myself to forgive them, but with time I became less certain of my decision, and I realized this isn't right. Just because you don't like them, that doesn't give you the right to close the tower's gate on them. I need to know why our generation isn't allowed to reach the top of the tower. What does she mean by that? I need to know why our generation isn't allowed to reach the top of the tower. She's Towerborn. I keep forgetting about that. Why isn't she allowed to go to the top when it's always been open? Right? It's always been open. So why do I not get to go? So I can't go on living anymore without knowing the truth. because I climbed the tower with you and I have a right to know. I don't mean to sound like I'm criticizing you, Trauma Ray. You are. All I want to say is that I don't agree with you anymore. We're too different now. I can't be with you. I want to see this journey to its end, even if I have to fight you all. I'm leaving. I'm leaving Trauma Ray. It feels like Trauma is super sensitive, and the people cursing them out made him hate them. I think it was more than cursing them out. That's what I feel like. I feel like it was more, because if it were just curses and stuff, I'd be like, if it were just curses and Amizu didn't say what she said, I would be like, yeah, he's being sensitive. But for him to be like, they did curses and these atrocities and all these things, and then for her to be like, for her to be like, and I didn't agree with that either. And the reason why I went with you is because I didn't want to forgive them. So the Towerborn that climbed with them did something. Something happened. Something happened with that group of individuals, and they did something that was like, hey, yo, like, what the hell? Like, she was one of the people that did, like, she was with them. Like, why are we stopping? There's no reason to stop. And then people start acting crazy, and she's like looking around like, what's happening? And then it escalates and escalates and escalates, and she's just like, hey, I don't agree with what they're doing, but I share the same sentiment that, no, I don't think we should stop climbing. But they're wilding out right now. That's why she went with them. So they did something happened. Something was going on. Whatever they did, I don't know. I don't know what they did, but I have no idea. I don't know. It's crazy. What's up, Haku? I'm more inclined to V side. I understand the ethical implications of choosing to stop or to continue to climb. I think this maybe could be to the Icarus. That's maybe. I think all this time I was thinking that the family heads might have killed Icarus, but it may have been like, this might have been like they turned on Icarus, because if Icarus was like some sort of Towerborn or experiment or some sort of creation, like, could this have been a whole, they turned on them, stopped worshiping them? What's the exact wording that Trom used? Beastly atrocities. Committed the most beastly atrocities. When I think of that, I don't want to like jump out the window. When I think of like civil unrest, and I think of people who have like reached their wits' end, and they just start rioting and going crazy and just doing anything, mob mentality. When the mob, like, if you get a bunch of people to do a ton of mob mentality, you would be people lose the ability to have critical thinking, and the mob will just go crazy and do damn near anything. And if you are in the mob and you're like, hey, yo, that's kind of crazy, they'll turn on you too. That could have been what that was. They could have went the most beastly atrocities for Trauma Ray. We know how Trauma Ray thinks. For Trauma Ray to say they did the most beastly atrocities, and then for a Mizu to be like, yeah, I could not rock with what they were doing. That's why I went with you. Whatever they did was crazy then. Whatever they did was insane. It has to be. It has to be something insane. They must have been wilding out. They must have been wilding out. I think the Icarus thing could have been something like that. It could have been like the Towerborn were all addressed at the same time, and they all freaked out. Maybe Icarus could have been in the crowd and didn't agree with how the mob was reacting, and the mob jumped on her. I don't know. That's a scenario that could have happened. This is before Trump. He's starting to think that way. And I'm just thinking of how Trump thinks of like, just how he views individuals. I'm not even talking about like dark Trump. Even this Trump is a little twisted, a little bit. He's not as dark as he was. He's not as dark as he is now. Now this Trump, I'd be like, hey, yo, yeah. But for that Trump still was a little like reserved from everyone. weren't some of the Great Family's kids born during the climb? I thought so, right? Maybe they killed some of the Great Warriors kids. Maybe. That's what they could have done something. I'm halfway through this chapter, but I like babbling. But something happened. They did something. They did something. I think the implications here is a social contract between 13 and the people who worship them. Maybe they only followed the 13 because of the true goal. Yes. I'm starting to think more so of that now. Honestly, what this feels like, it could be like some sort of loose, very loosely. Because anytime I make a comparison, it feels like people don't understand it. This feels very loosely to like the Haracha story in a way, where it's like his people turned to him because he was the one that was able to provide for them. And then as soon as things started to get a little shaky, they wasn't really rocking with him no more. This feels like the same way, where it's like these super powerful individuals who came into the tower, amassed the following, were worshipped like gods, made bonds, and then they went to a point and stopped, and the people were so enthralled in this journey and only for it to come to a screeching halt, and they kind of just get lost in the sauce is the most simplest terms I can think of. And they're just like, wait, what do you mean that's it? No. Like, what? You can't do that. And they start freaking out. It could be like that. Maybe it could be a sense of entitlement in a way. That's why I'm like, I could see both sides. I can see both sides. I can see why the family heads feel the way they feel. The more that we're learning, and I can understand why the Towerborn will feel the way that they feel too. That's why I feel like I don't think there's a right side and a wrong side. The more information we learn, I feel like that's more apparent. I feel like it was easier with the limited information to jump to a conclusion that the family heads were just like these super duper evil people that just stopped doing this, and they might have become these super duper evil people, right? Throughout the thousands and thousands and thousands of years of things that they've done. But initially, I think it was just like two sides of just gray. And the individuals with more power end up coming out on top. All right, let me continue. I'm leaving Traumaray. Skip the song. What's playing? I'll take it. All right. Ooh. Am I lonely? No, of course not. You're all I need. I want to keep living here with you. Let's not think about anything scary or complicated anymore. All I want to worry about is how we're going to decorate this pretty home, what to wear tomorrow, and what to eat for each meal. Flashback. Am I okay, you ask? Of course. I'm happy, Traumaray. Oh, that's painful. This sucks. This sucks. This is terrible. Oh, that sucks. That's terrible. All right. I don't want to jump out the window yet. I have something I want to say, but I don't want to jump out the window yet. Let me keep going. I want to live together like this forever. You said you wanted to live together forever. Remember, Amizu? This is why this moment right here. This and this right here. This is why she didn't want to see him before leaving. Because you see this face? That's pain in them eyes. That's pain. That's why she didn't want to see him. That's tough. Can you it's the thought of Trom being like all of this stuff going down. Like, this is painful. I feel like I'm gonna have to open up a part of my heart that's been broken to get this point across. For Trom, we know that Trom has always been isolated, always been a loner. Gaston was his closest friend, and they bicker a lot. We know that he was a little wild little dude running around in the forest catching fish with his bare hands, right? We seen that. We got to see that a couple chapters ago. We know his nature. We know how he thinks. We know how he feels about people. That's why he's always around animals. And for him to find a person that he loved, and then all this stuff goes down, and these people that followed us, they hate us, and all of these things, thinking from his perspective, and all these people that we were around every day, we're not around each other anymore. But I had you. And it feels like Trom might have consistently asked her if she was happy. Are you okay? And she always was like, yes, I'm fine. I'm happy. I want to be with you forever. All this. Only to end up here where he's like, you were going to leave and not say anything to me. That. I would never trust anyone again. It's why Trom never trusts anyone again. I would lock myself away and people would forget I exist. I get it. I don't even know anything else that happens from this point forward. That right there, I get it. The one person that said that they were going to stay with me forever and would be happy with me forever. Not for the rest of our lives, forever. Because we're not going to die. Forever. And you are going to just run away in the middle of the night. To the people that are against us, might I add, that's the enemy. You are going to go with them. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. And that how they felt about each other is the reason why she didn't want to see him. And she said it. She said, if I talk to him, I'm not going to leave because she loves him. That's tough. That's painful. Mizu said she loved that he was genuine, and we see that he was the type to feed someone he thought was hungry, right? I'm getting that more so too. I think Jihad definitely took advantage of Trom. He absolutely did. He took advantage of him. He preyed on Trom. He preyed on Trom's nature. At that point, you give up dating for at least a few centuries. Give up dating. Give it up. It's terrible. Let me continue. You see that? This pain. I'm sorry. That's pain. She's hurting. That's just not possible anymore. You've changed too much. I can't stand to see you like this any longer. Because I know now. I know what you do in that new house of yours. And what you and Jihad want. Experiments. 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 I think we should go our separate ways. This is very loaded, bro. This? I know what you do in that new house of yours and what you and Jihad want. Yeah, that whole idea that we were talking about a couple weeks ago, with the whole this makes me feel like we're going around the workshop because Gaston is connected to the workshop, as we've now learned. Like, he's really deeply connected with the workshop. If he could get personal gifts from the workshop, Jihad probably went to Trom and was like, we're going around the workshop. We're gonna make our own workshop. That's what it feels like to me. We're gonna do our own thing so that we don't have to deal with that. We could do whatever we want. That's what it feels like to me. I think they all definitely got personal gifts, but Gaston went to the workshop on Traumare's behalf and got the gift. So I feel like that's a little different there. And that just might be attributed to Traumare and Gaston's relationship. But I'm just thinking no one else, and maybe that's just because they're not close friends like that. There seems like Gaston and Trom were best friends. That's what it felt like to me. So it feels like to me. So it feels like maybe a best friend would do that, but Gaston went to the workshop, got the gift, relayed the gift, then got it back and did all that. So yeah. I know what you do in that new house of yours and what you and Jihad want. I think we should go our separate ways. It was all just talk. No more than an excuse. Enkidu knew Tromare hadn't changed. He still loved Amizu, the same as always. Amizu was the one who had changed. No. Well, they both changed. That's the thing. They both changed. Oh no. This is terrible. They both changed. It's clear that the family heads were changing, but she definitely changed because she said that she couldn't forgive the Towerborn for what they did, and then she grew to forgive them. She changed. They both changed. I keep saying that word too many times and it don't sound right. Amizu was the one who had changed. Her feelings for Tromare changed, and now she wanted to run away. Enkidu could feel rage boiling in him. An uncontrollable, unstoppable rage. I'm leaving Tromare. Take care. It was too much for him to bear. Enkidu, look after Tromare for me. Oh, buddy. He couldn't contain his rage. No way. No way. No way. No way. No way. No way. Say swear. No way. Whoa. Time out. Time out. No way. Time out. When he finally came to his senses and opened his eyes, he saw Amizu lying there. Her body had been brutally mutilated by his blade. The only sound in his ears was the crane's sad, bitter song of mourning. The heart-wrenching melody brought him back to reality. A moment later, his whole body was overcome with a terrible chill. Enkidu had lost control. No way! Bro, this is crazy! Bro, my whole thing of whenever we first came up, when we first were coming up with ideas as to what could happen when she had her announcement, I was like, maybe Enkidu just pops off when she says something and tries to kill her. And my first retort was, there's like 7 family heads there. There's no way Enkidu would be able to get that off without somebody reacting. So that's why I'm like, there's no way she would walk away and Trom would let that happen. There's no way. It's crazy. What have I done? He couldn't hold back the fury within him. Don't know. No way. What chapter is the one? What chapter? What chapters? What? I knew she was dead, regardless. She was the one that was that. What chapter is the conversation where we got to see the flashback? When Gaston and Trom were talking, and Trom was like, "I'm deleting this." What chapter was that? Bro, what? It's what he's wearing. That's what he's wearing. Oh gosh. He violate. If I'm taking this straight, if I'm taking it straight, right? That from this moment, if I'm taking it straight from this moment, from this to this. What the hell just flew by the screen? Sorry. If I'm taking it directly from this to this, he violated Enkidu. Violated Enkidu. If I'm taking this exactly how it is, Enkidu freaked out and killed Mizu. He violates Enkidu. You gotta remember, Enkidu's only a head in the sprout. He violates Enkidu. Violates Enkidu. We're about to get prime crash out. It feels like. It feels like we're about to get prime crash out. It was enough to make Gaston pull up. Gotta think about it. Whatever happened was enough to make somebody show up. Like, yo, what's going on? Because we're about to witness a supreme crash out. I think that's what's about to happen. We're about to witness probably one of the strongest displays of force in the series. I genuinely feel like that's what we're about to experience. I genuinely feel I think we are about to experience one of the craziest displays of force in the series. This is crazy. This is crazy. Because my first thought was like, there's no way Trom let this happen. But then I see his face. He didn't let that happen. Enkidu just freaked out, and it caught Trom off guard. Trom's guard was completely down. This is a situation where, when it comes to Amizu, it feels like Trom doesn't even have a guard. He had no guard to be up because she was here in his presence. So Enkidu freaking out and killing her just was completely out of left. And this is the thing where it gets so tricky with Trom's mindset. It feels like everyone tried to tell Trom that Enkidu's not a friend. And Trom is like convincing himself, no, he is a friend. But then when real friends get around, he doesn't treat Enkidu like a friend. But he still thinks of Enkidu as a friend, right? So it's like Enkidu is a friend without the friend privileges. So for Trom to have Enkidu Amizu being here, in Trom's brain, it's the woman he loves and one of his... he's lying to himself, one of his closest friends. And that's why he probably has no guard. So when Enkidu freaks out, he's probably like, if he didn't let this happen, he's crashing out. He's about to lose his mind. He's about to lose it. And yeah, this right here. Amizu died because of that monster, Enkidu. And Gasong's like, it's your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Yeah. That's a tough thing to say, though. Especially to your friend. It's your fault. She died because of you. He's not wrong, but still, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing to say. Right, and he didn't reject it either. He knew he was wrong. That's why I'm like, Trom has been lying to himself about Enkidu. He's been lying to himself. He's been calling Enkidu a friend, but Enkidu has none of the friend. And Enkidu noted that. He was like how he treats me and how he treats them are completely different. Those are his friends. I don't know what I am. The fact that Enkidu blacked out and lost control still has you worried / wondering if Trom already took control. Could he take control of Enkidu? I don't know what Enkidu is. Like, what is Enkidu? Could Trom take control of him? Would he be classified in such a category that he could control him? Am I missing something? Do I not remember something? I don't know. I think this might just be because this isn't this like I would feel that way. I would feel that way if Enkidu hasn't shown emotions up to this point. Right? If this were like the first moment of Enkidu like losing control or like displaying emotions, I might be with you on that. But we know that Enkidu has emotions. So I feel like in my head, if you have the ability to have emotions, you might have the ability to black out, because people usually black out from extreme intense emotions and they just lose themselves to rage. They literally don't know what happened. So it's like, and especially everything that's been building up. I feel like this flashback has done a really good job at showing the build-up and the passage of time and the build-up of how Enkidu feels, and for it to just bubble over the top. I don't know. I don't know. They said that he was a creature Trom tried to make human. Enkidu, well, and isn't Enkidu a creature of the tower? He isn't a human. Head-on confirmed that, so he's a creature. I don't know. I'm asking, is he a creature or a creation? Also, the bird is not a real one. It's not a real one. Didn't even try to help. It's. Is there anything to say with what? There has to be something to say, because that bird was Amizu's bird, right? Because Amizu said last chapter that crane, she gave that crane to Mershea to be able to get to the floating castle, right? The floating ship. So that's why the bird would probably be freaking out. The bird can either be freaking out because Trom is doing some crazy level controlling like you guys are saying over Enkidu, or the bird's freaking out because my master just died. It could be one of those two. What chapter would that have been? I want to pull it up. We could pull it up. Hold on. I think it's this chapter, no? Yeah, so the birds are here we go, right? Here we go. Trom said he wanted a creature. A few days later, I've sent you a creature that is nothing in and of itself, but can become anything you want. Take good care of it. From the master, the father of everything. So it's a creature. That's what it says. Or I can't say that. Is it a creature? Because all he did was just regurgitate back exactly what Trom said. Like bar for bar. I've sent you a creature that is nothing in and of itself, but become anything you want. Take good care of it. So maybe it's a creature that can be controlled. After the creature, so we are calling it a creature. Maybe Trom can control him. It was given to Trom by the workshop master. It was neglected in Trom's room for a very long time. Yada 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 yada. So maybe that Trom could have controlled Enkidu to do this. Maybe. Hadan says it's not a person, right? It makes sense for Amizu to be an anima considering how close she is to Trom. It does make sense. Rock is human by a tower. Yeah, Rock would technically be a human, right? That's been like mutated or something like that. Wrong terminology, but along that line, right? Something that's like they started off something and then like I can't remember. I see the panel in my head. I can't spit out what I want to say. I'm sorry. So I guess the option is still there where it's like Trom could be controlling Enkidu to do this, or Enkidu could have just literally like bubbled over in anger and struck out at Amizu. I can see both. But then if this is directly after this moment right here, and we're saying that Amizu died because of that monster, would this be would Trom be lying? I don't know. I don't know. This is crazy though. Yeah, so Amizu isn't Robinon's mom? The fact that Enkidu's just ahead when we see him does make me think they clap. I think so. I'm thinking I'm gonna go with Trom didn't control Enkidu to do this. That Enkidu Enkidu actually lost control and blacked out and killed Amizu. And upon seeing that, Trom goes nuts, and goes crazy on Enkidu. And that's what leads him to be sealed in the sprout. Trom he's gonna go crazy. gonna go absolutely insane. He's gonna lose his mind. Trump's gonna lose his mind. If Trump didn't mind control Enkidu, bro, do you like this was this chapter? This stuff right here. We know how he feels about her. We know that. We know how he feels about her. If he didn't do that and Enkidu just went crazy, oh my goodness. Because there's not, you can't, from how I feel, this man feels about her. Right? If he, like the way I'm thinking he feels about Imizu, there's nothing he wouldn't do. If anything happened to her, there's nothing he wouldn't do. I think all of us have that one person that if something happened to them, there's nothing we wouldn't do. Yeah, I think we all have that one person where it's just like to the ends of the earth. Yo. Yeah. How he is the way he is right now, if Enkidu just went out of control and killed them, yeah, I know. I still hate how he dresses current day, but everything he does, I get it. If this is the direct cause for the beginning of the spiral of him, I get it. I don't condone it, but I get it. I understand. Yeah, I understand. 100%. 100%. I understand. I totally get it. Yeah, I would like to know what's up with the mask too. There's still so much I want to know about. I know we're probably going to end the flashback before we know everything. You know it. I'm with you though. There's so much more information I want to know. In Jihad are already doing something though. I wonder what. That's all I'm thinking about. I think it's the red light district. I think it's the red light district. I do. I've been on that for a minute. I think it's the red light district. I think the red light district is a brainchild of Jihad and Trom outside of the workshop and outside of everyone else. I genuinely think that. That's what I'm going with. I could be totally wrong. But I'm going with that. What's up with the bots today, bro? Damn. That's what I'm going with. Cuz for her to say that just lets me know that there's something else up. For her to be like, I know what you do. I know what you do in that floating ship. And I know what you and Jihad I know what y'all do. For her to say something like that? What? Huh? What do you know? She died before she could tell us. Damn it, I just thought about that. She died before she could tell us. There's no way that Trom does some freaky stuff, creepy stuff, and never mind. I don't even know why I put that on that man. Never mind. Right now, I have some things I want to know, and I want to know what exactly is Trom and Jihad up to. 1, 2. What did the Towerborn do? What did the Towerborn actually do upon hearing that there was going to be no more climbing? I was thinking something with the snakes, since Tromare had the Serpent Master for I don't even remember how long. And the snake charmer is involved with the princesses. Yeah. Us, Imizu, tell us more, T. Maybe something with the snakes, maybe. I don't know where else it'll come. Yeah. Why am I getting so many notifications? Leave me alone. Having the time of my life talking about this right now. Leave me alone. For real, for real. Dog, I'm blown right now. I'm blown away. I knew it would have happened, but not like this. Oh, the layers I just keep thinking about it more and more. It's like coming to this place, right? This little floating island. That's what tipped her off that, oh, this isn't Mershea. That's what tipped her off. But it was already too late, so there's nothing she could do about it. This little floating island seemingly was like a place that they spent a lot of time at. And it's like you got like stacking all of the chips on top of this moment that ends up with her dead by, oh, please, yeah, whenever you get the chance. But stacking all of these things. So it's like it's so many things. It's, oh my goodness. So you have the initial pressure of choosing not to climb anymore, right? And the fallout from that. So that's a stack. She chooses to be with him, and then both of them begin to slowly change. Stack that on top of that. Jihad and Trom are doing something. She takes that to mind. Stack that on top of that. Trom is doing something else in the floating ship, whatever he's doing. Stack that on top of that, right? Then add time, right? You got to add time. Then you also have to add the family head splitting, because it was one thing. This probably is a thing where it was one thing for the family heads and the Towerborn and Arlen and V to split, and she sided with Trom, and for them to be a unit, only for them to splinter and break off. So now it's only just her and Trom. You gotta stack that on top. Then you have to stack Enkidu, in which the family heads or his friends, the 13, told Trom, Heyo, what's the dealio with Enkidu? On top of her being like, what's the deal with Enkidu? You gotta stack that on top of that. Then you also have to stack, like, you take all of that, right? Compress it, add the fact that Trom was like, I'm gonna marry her. And she'd be like, no, you're not. And then she leaves, she runs away, all this stuff, only to end up at this special place where they share so many memories. It was at this place where she told Trom we would live together forever. And all of this compressed and stacked on top of each other just ignites because your friend got mad for you and killed her. Yo, I would lose my mind. I'm sitting right here. I would go crazy. I would lose it. I would go crazy. I wouldn't accept that all of these things were my fault. All of these things that stacked on top of each other were my actions that led to her dying. I couldn't live with that. I couldn't live with it. No, not at all. There's no way I could live with it. I would lose my mind. And that's why he deleted the memories. Yeah. Makes sense. It makes sense. And he feels so damn guilty about it, he still has nightmares about it after he deleted the memories. He's so destroyed by it. Some event that happened millennias ago. Millennias, plurals, ago, still haunts him. And he don't even remember what happened. still haunts him. That sucks. That sucks. So you just really building the most layered, interconnected story of all time, just to act as backstory for his even more interconnected main story. Yes. When the trauma is so long lasting that you have nightmares after getting amnesia. Yes. Trauma was about to let her go too. It felt like it. He could have crashed out. We don't know that. I might push back on that a little bit. I hear you. Part of me agrees with you. He could have crashed out right here. He could have lost his mind. What do you mean you're leaving? He didn't get a chance to. Enkidu did it for him. Enkidu snapped out. That's where the whole maybe Trom took over Enkidu. Maybe he did. Because it was just like, bam, right at the moment where he could have went crazy. Enkidu jumped in and beat him to it. Yeah, he beat him to it. Legit beat him to it. He could have went crazy right here. He could have. But we will never know. Or maybe we find out that Trom did do it. Who knows? That's tough. That's crazy, yo. That's insane. Enkidu. Then he turns around and does the same thing to Wang Wang. Yeah. My dog ate grandma's sock and died? Oh my god. What a name. He turns around and does the same thing to Wang Wang. Literally. But the crazy thing is he doesn't remember. It's like he unconsciously remembers. It's crazy. This is crazy. This is insane. Do you think he deserves it anyway? Who, Enkidu does? Probably. Do you think Trom subconsciously used his power to kill her without even knowing it? There could be a chance. That's a possibility. That Trom could have been so enraged that he he didn't actively and I'm now going to take over Enkidu and kill her. He probably could have just went crazy and just took control of Enkidu and just did it. That could be a thing. 1000%. It could have been a thing. Isn't Coon Head still looking for her too? Who do you think will be the first to show up? Gastong. I'll say Gastong. And I say Gastong because they seem like best friends. So if something were to go down, it would make sense for Gastong to find him first. It's usually the person that knows you the best can find you whenever you are unresponsive and you choose not to tell anyone anything. It would be, I feel like Gastong would be the first one. And then I can see everyone showing up a little bit after. You think Gastong will be the last to show up here? You think so? You think he'll be the last? I don't know. Do you think so? I'm trying to picture it. So it's because Edon's still running around. We know that. Yedong was in the place that she jumped out of the window for. Well, she was there. She walked out and then intercepted Edon. Think so? All the stuff crashes down, then Gastong shows to be up. It's your fault. I guess I see it. Part of me feels like, I don't know. Part of me feels like it would make this moment feel more intimate. You know what I mean? It would make it. Gut says that Kun or Han would be the first because they were actively looking for her. If there's more people sitting here, right? If there's more people sitting here, it makes this moment feel less intimate. I don't know. I feel like because it for the Kraken to be out, I feel like we're still timeout. We're standing like at the spot where this goes down. I was trying to see if the ground was similar. It feels like we're standing at the spot where this goes down. But I don't know. I don't know. Let me. You guys are. Think a song should last. The gut says either Kun or Han to be the first. Yep. It's crazy. Nah, I really don't think like it's Trom's fault. In the grand scheme of things, yes, but directly, no. Right? Like if you just want to go by order of events and like this caused this, caused this, caused this, yes, it's his fault. But Trom, like if we're taking this at face value, Trom didn't tell Enkidu to do anything. Enkidu got mad on his own accord and lashed out on his own accord. But if you want to, like, if you follow like the chain of events, Trom placed Enkidu in this position in order, and it happened. So it's like if you want to point the finger, it would inadvertently fall at Trom, but Trom didn't. But I don't think Trom told him like, and if this happens, I want you to kill her. I don't think he did that at all. Han isn't looking for her anymore. I don't think he is. Then again, Trom is a family head. As soon as I see my girl get slashed once, I'm going trash out Enkidu. So I think Trom partly allowed him to kill her. There's a possibility. There's a possibility, but I don't want to take away. I don't want to take away. What's the word I'm looking for? Damn it! I don't want to take away. Shock. Away. I don't want to take that away from the family heads. Not at this point, because they're slowly starting to change, but they haven't fully changed yet. I don't want to take that away from them. I want them like I want them to still feel like a human. I still want them to feel like a character, even though they're trying to reject that. So to freeze up is something that anybody would do in a certain situation. You might feel like you'll never freeze until you end up in a situation and you stuck and you can't move. So it's like, I don't want that to be taken away from him. He legit could have probably froze like, what? And then comes back to reality and loses his mind. But I don't want to take that away from him just yet. But I feel like that's a point to be made that it's like, yo, he slashed her. Why wouldn't you just hop out there? I don't know. The ground does look different, but this could have been. What is the chapter that? What's the chapter that that Trom gets stuck in when he gets sealed? You think I would remember by that? When he gets put inside of the labyrinth. What chapter is that? We don't know what's happening with Merche either. We don't. Does he just slide out when things are getting crazy outside? If this is happening right now, this is a perfect situation. Yeah, that's why I feel like this would be a perfect situation to just let him go. These events going on, Amizu dying, Trom like being distraught, maybe 164. Okay, all of that, like all of those things, I feel like that's just a situation where it's just like, get out of here, right? Get out of here. I wanted to take a look at the labyrinth floor. I'm trying to see what that mimics, like what, or not what that mimics, what the floor looks like. Okay. Yada yada yada. So it had some sort of pattern. Okay. It's not the labyrinth. I was wondering if it could have been like the labyrinth floor, but it wasn't. There's so many. Because I overthink so much. There's so many things that could happen. There's so many things that could have happened. So many things that could have happened. Ay. This is crazy. Yeah, it's clear. I think it's clear that Trom's weird, but it's clear that they both loved each other. They both were in love. And this isn't even. This is a. Yeah, it could. That's true too. It could just be how the floor looks once Trom goes crazy. But this is like an example of like she didn't even. Would I say she fell out of love with him? No. Technically, yes. But she still loves Trom. She just hates who he is now. Blame with your hat for all this. Yeah, that'd be a better hat to hang it on. Yeah. She hates who he's become. But deep down, she still loves him. I would say, and this is me pulling from my own experience, me thinking about a previous relationship. She loves the idea of Trom and what Trom was, but not what he actually is. She loves the idea of Trom. Like in this moment, standing right here talking to him on this floating island, where she's like, I'm leaving you. She loves the idea of Tromray. She loves the memory of Tromray, but not the Tromray that's standing in front of her. That's what it is. Because the Tromray that's standing in front of her, she does not love that individual. That individual is doing things that she doesn't agree with, stands for things that she doesn't agree with, and she wants to not be around him. She loves Trom and her memories. That's what it is.